Well, good morning. How is everybody today? Well, there's Barbara. So, good morning, Chase, and Carol, and Barbara Ward. So, it's an interesting day. Things are happening so quickly in our world. Before I set the energy, I want to read you the first card that came up when I picked. Everything changes. And here in my mind, that's what I was thinking. A soft light radiates from my heart. It illuminates those around me and transforms every situation I encounter. I maintain a positive attitude in spite of any difficulties I may perceive. No matter the circumstances, I remain a source of true joy. Everything changes when it is bathed in the light of the divine. So I feel like that speaks to everything that our intention has been about in our different prayers we've done. Oh, and good morning, Dorothy. Thank you for coming. So I also wanted to pick 3 wisdom cards for everyone who's here is very much connected on a level with the yellow ray from Illumination, the secret ray, encyclopedia. So we want to let the wisdom cards speak to us today. I knew I kept seeing one that wasn't turned the right way. Such an old perfectionist, you know. All right. So I'm going to pick 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's see what the wisdom of the cards say to us today. Here's the image. And we know right away that this can't be good. So it's probably about our human self. Negative thoughts manifesting into real challenges. Fears surrounding money. Reach out to others for assistance. Poor timing for becoming self-employed. Well, you know what? I have to disagree with all of that. I can never figure out how to hold these. You know? I think it depends on the individual how much of this you want to take part and bring into your world. So, if this is your present moment, know that everything changes. The card I just read. It all depends on the perception you have about it and the light that you choose to bring to it. So here's our second card. Passionate, confident, charismatic, restless events requiring immediate action. Trust your instincts. Stay focused. It just turned everything around. There we go. And all the movement. So we went from that boredom, sitting, being afraid, to there's so many things all around you. You just have to take the time to look for it and go on the ride. You know, passion is an interesting word. I feel that's been my gift. I've been always passionate, always wanting to know more, do more, experience more. And yet there are many people on earth today that really don't get what passion's about. And that's this person who's sitting having the angel come, maybe the kitty. But what was it again? Negative thoughts manifesting into real challenges. Fears surrounding money. Well, do you all understand that money is God's energy? That place where you call God down within your energy field is His light. It's money. Money is always around everybody. It's how you choose to use the mind and your heart and how you choose to think, whether or not that is blessedly given to you, because that is your birthright. It is only you and your misuse of your thoughts and emotions. And right now, most of you should be bringing your emotions up and into the feeling nature of your heart. What do you do with emotions? You transform them. You bring them up into positive feelings. Okay? And here we have card number 3. I just picked these all randomly. Are you ready? It is. Magic is alive in your life. You can be this first person. Oh yeah, I knew she was looking down at her toes, thinking her toes are going to give her something. Not. It's this, reading, working. What are these down here? Flowers, carnations, seeing the magic and the rainbow everywhere. Owning your own wings. Most everyone here has the capacity of an angelic being. Why not? Let me see what it says. Magic is alive in your life. What you need to be a success will manifest. Ray 1, willing to do. If you believe it, you can do it. And what is one of our greatest words that we know is at the basic core of being on the light path? But believe. So, believe you're alive and believe that everything changes. Okay, so we're going to do one more. I hear you. Where do I want it to come from is the question. So I'm going to get the language of light ones out here. I'm doing a lot of different things and everything's everywhere. That's what it looks like from a passionate person, right? Lots to be done. Always doing. Every day of your life is a choice. What do you want to do today? And it's certainly fine to choose a day to rest. I have those, especially now that we're down here on the lake. But it gives me more fire energy inside with the water and the light to even get more done. I have some unique thoughts that come. And perhaps someday they'll all be in fruition. Who's to know? Now look how we all just thought all these people coming in this morning. I had come to terms with just working with Chase. That was fine. Because I know her and I have a power in what we both desire. You know, Chase, last night, after our prayer, you had asked us to all do. I went to a TV channel at dinner time that I never go to. It was 508 here. I don't know. It's one of the major. It's the David guy that talks. And he had been on a journey to Sudan. And they've had so much water that there was only one road that had been built full of sand to get to help the people eat. There was nothing to eat. The crop land was all water. There was no way to feed themselves. So here he is driving these huge trucks of food to these people. So we have to trust in what angels are. Angels are sometimes those we can't see, but sometimes they're people like you and me, any of us here. And that comes into fruition when people made that happen. Angel people. And there's these little tiny ones who are so hungry, and they were able to take care of them. So what's going on for us is we need to believe. We need to know that those things that are meant to be are being taken care of. It could be us, but it could be how God has his army of angels and those who are working for him to go out into the world and have the monies, have the, whatever it is they need to get there. Because there's some kind of authority that certain people have in the world. Some of the movie stars do it. But does it matter? No. What matters is that work of God is getting done. Where you and I sit here, we can give the prayer, the need, the intention, and you got to know it might not really be needed. He's probably already seen it, but it enhances it. It begins to let God know the desire of an individual or of a group to help and to take part in the healing here upon the earth. So, these are the secret of the language of light. So let's just see the frequency. I'm going to do 2. Very fascinating. I'm going to change the way they came. So, this one is that nothing has gone wrong. We need to know that in our life, nothing's wrong. And that brings the balance of the yin and the yang. And there's a frequency for that you can find from deep within you and allow it to burst into the world. Because how do we begin to heal the world? Because the world lies within myself, within each of you. It's in our humanity, in the physical form, that as we grow and we lift up that truth, we are a participant in the whole. So first, nothing has gone wrong. We need to tell this little woman, oh yeah, here she is. Hello, miss. Don't be sad. I know my hands have trouble holding these. Shh. Look up. Look what's behind you. Not only is there an angel behind you, but it's turquoise, which is a very high angel, because nothing has gone wrong. And here's that resolution and how you know. Because you're going to let your light shine. And you're going to take ownership of your participation in how your life and your world does move. And it's from how you radiate your heart, how thoughts from consciousness come down to radiate through that heart with your energy and touch the world, and how it touches you. So powerful. So we're not just walking through the world. We're not just letting life happen to us. We are being a participant in how first life does occur around us, but then with those thoughts as large as they can become, touch the world. So I hope that all helps you, because that was kind of our essence for the week, was having people who didn't have or needed help. And I think Alexei is one person who believes like we do. And that's why he's still alive, why he's there, and he's being a demonstration for his people. He has many prayers, but the most important prayer he has is from within himself. And God's listening. And we don't know when time's perfect. We don't. Yeah, see, not even for ourselves. But if in that time that it's taking, we sit in peace and harmony, believing that God can handle everything. We have a silver platter and we just keep giving him everything. Many times I call on the silver platter and I just put it on and I go, I release it to you. Thank you. It's not in here anymore because I know God's taken it. And when I've become very clear with it, I call in three doves to fly with it. You can send the doves when you're absolutely sure that you're ready to let it be what it is. So, I'm grateful for all we've done this week. So Chase says, something amazing happens when we surrender and just love. Yes, Chase, you're right. Yeah. So, I guess we'll take a minute and get centered. But that just all kind of happened when I was sitting here, because I had planned a different scenario, and we're not doing that scenario today. This is what it's about today, because it's very powerful for someone who's going to need it this weekend, who's going to need to remember to believe, who's going to need to remember to take time and sit and bring God down within that globe of earth within us that is alive. And I want to say, and well, because it has all the love that you are nurturing it, same as it does for you. For we are all one and the same. So let me say hello to everyone here, and then we'll set our energy. And again, Chase, thank you for showing up for all of us today. And Carol, you too. And Barbara Ward, glad you came. And Dorothy, many blessings to you. And there's Barbara. Marby, good morning. Yes, everybody is a beautiful person, aren't they? And Kathy Marino just dropped in. Good morning to you. All right. So here we are, 18 minutes into it. But you got to know, I always set the energy of purity and safety and protection before we all start. But we're going to ask Mother and Father to come personally into our circle and call in all the phylums of all the angels and be grateful to them for all the work they do for us and for everyone in the consciousness of the earth and the world. And to the ascended masters who work diligently and have such a high gift of perception for all that they do. And they begin to believe and trust us. And Jim Gordon just came, and he is letting me know that he is in Spain. So, well, thank you. I hope you come. I'm here usually Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 11. And so we're also going to offer to those beings of light throughout the universe. If they're walking on the path and full of light, that's the main important thing that we all should care about. So we welcome them in to learn more about the light, to learn more about how Mother and Father are part of all the souls of all of us, and how to be kind and loving to all people. I had someone reach out to me yesterday from in Europe, and they were very distressed and was angry about something. And I said, well, if you take a moment and get kind and gentle, maybe you could talk to someone and there'll be a way that they'll help you. Because you and I both know no one's going to help anybody when they're angry and having a tirade. So that's part of what our emotional part of us is to help us learn not to react emotionally. That is a egotistical way of handling things. We need to be at peace. Know that there too is a purpose for everything. And perhaps the purpose is yours, but maybe it's a purpose for someone else to learn something about themselves that they hadn't been looking at before. So, here we go. So, what are we going to do today then? Because I believe it's too late for me to bring in someone to channel, and I've had someone very powerful come, but we will save it till next week. It'll begin to bring up the excitement. And yes, but we can never talk too much about love for the heavens. Yes, it was interesting that above heaven, the one message took us up to above heaven again the other day. And that Peter, he seems like a really cool experience of light. He was more than willing to step forward. I wonder, how are you all doing with all those profound messages that are coming through on a Tuesday from Mother? Are you sitting and making use of any of them? Or do you just take it as another show and go on? I hope not. I hope that you're allowing them to touch you, because in that there is a process in the energy that's held through your nadis in the aura that can bring about a shift, a change, if you allow it. And if that's true, and you put them all together into one thing, that's a huge shift every week. So I do not know. I'm just being curious. What could be happening is that you're more happy and smiley and beginning to perceive things differently when you first hear things, and not taking things so much literally, and trying to see the four truths from around a perception to what's really going on. Curious to see. So let's see. I don't see any response to that question. Yes, because you all know I'm the healer. So the journey of that brought along a recognition of a lot of other gifts that I'll do. But truly what we need in our world is for people to evolve consciousness and to hold a greater quantity of light, from maybe 20 or 30 up to, you can go up to 100% light quotient. There you would be feeling no pain, and you would be overwhelming happy, and you would be busy bringing that light to the world. So you're somewhere in between there. But as we're working together and things are shifting and you're beginning to see there are different ways to handle things, a different way to even think of yourself, and to love and embrace whatever those little tickly emotions are that come up, and kind of go, here you are again. So you either put it on a little back plate so when you get home or wherever you can look at it and have a kind response to whoever ignited it within you. Or if it didn't and instill some reaction, know that it's all theirs and you can love them for where they are and let it be so. Because it's all about loving not just yourself, but everybody because they are you. Why do we get reactions out of people or reactions that upset us? Because for that moment, our consciousness is saying, I need to learn this. I need to learn this. Maybe you better snub me. Go ahead, snub me. And if they snub you and you get upset, it was purposeful. Because it'll happen until you decide there's no power in what other people do to you. And that's been the whole purpose. But that's why there are other people in the world. Because they are going around as you are helping other people grow. And then there are those people who work on themselves and get more diligent on understanding what's actually going on. So let's see what Barbara Ward says here. I focus on all my messages and try my best to apply them to what's going on in my life. Very often I find a message given even last year now becomes relevant to something happening currently. Well, Barbara Ward, I think that's wonderful. But do you ever go into listening and feeling that any of the other messages are also meant for you? Because if you do, that's a number of them to bring in alignment. That was my question. You know, some of them, you might walk away with 3 or 4 new processes to take on and to learn inside yourself. And maybe you want to go back and listen to Tuesday. What was the messages? You know, I mean, very profound ones. And see if you can just check off, no, not for me. Oh, well, maybe I better listen to this. Because as I observe, there is a lot of evolution coming to the message from where it begins. And that is a process that we do need to learn. You know, all of us. And how do we do that? And what are we afraid of? You know, if there could be just one thing that we could do and annihilate the fear in the world and within people, the world would be different. But fear has become such an important teacher to so many people and organizations and countries. How wide can we take it? We can take it all the way to the universe. And what that would be like would be Eden if it was all gone. Until it began again. So, fear. If you could just have your passion about knowing that you're not afraid. Now, you can choose to not do some things, but you don't want to have that choice come from a fear. Maybe it's some other reason that makes sense. But I'm talking about sometimes fear can keep us doing something that's good. And certainly there's those times when fear comes from when you're frightened. And there really is you don't want to do a bungee thing off the bridge, most of us. But that doesn't mean that we're stuck in fear. It's more like going out and meeting people and standing up and speaking for the first time. It's discovering why isn't that okay? Where inside you, or where has it happened before that maybe there was a demonstration of being embarrassed or saying the wrong thing, so you thought. And these are the type of things that fear are supporting you and having you grow. So here's Cavell. Good morning, Cavell. I appreciate all the message and try to apply them to my daily life. I listen to the messages several times and get different meanings. And I understand that because it depends on, in the moment, where your consciousness is sitting. So that's a very good perception to be having. It's all about where you are in the moment. You would react many different ways if you just let your mind sit and move through it. But then you have to follow the heart. You must take it into the heart. What does the heart choose? What does the heart feel? And then you will begin to have a new relationship, one that brings trust into your heart, and that you can have an awareness or a feeling, but you must go into the heart then to trust. Is it true? So there's some very profound key words: trust, truth, believing, perception, that are really to come to a defining experience within yourself. And as you do, you're going to find that the journey becomes a joy. Perhaps for some people in the beginning it's more difficult. And I think the number one thing I run into with people I work with is time. Having the time. And certainly I go along with it. But having been there, time is movable. When we had master class on Saturday, one person said, this has been like 3 days. And we had been 2 hours. So many times when I work with a group like that, it can seem like forever has happened, and it's been a very short time. So you have to go through the consciousness to ask yourself, well, what is time? And to understand that you have choice about time. You know, if ever I need to do a lot of things, I'll ask time to slow down. I need to finish and address these things. Or sometimes I quicken it. But usually in teaching, I give it to God, whatever He wants. But it was interesting. We all felt that we had been on together for days. And it's due to the depth of what you can do. It's not just speaking, but there's a speaking from that consciousness of God within you that's very deep. And in that depth, it takes you on a journey deep inside yourself to really look and to check around and, well, what is going on in here? That all takes time, but a different type of time. So, who would ever think we've already been on here for 33 minutes? Seems like I started and deviated and went over here, and now I'm here. Yeah, perhaps today it needs to be about time. So I'm going to go back to my first card. Where did that go? There they are. Something fell. And let me pick a card here about time, just to see what the few words are going to be about it. And you can all be sitting there now and thinking how time is in your life. Is it hectic? Do you have too much to do? You don't have time to sit and pray or meditate or, gosh darn it, even do some writing. I have so many tablets, writing tablets. It's like all I ever did is I wrote, talking to my higher self. What's going on here? Well, what's that mean? Why are we together? You know, I always pick cards out of here. It's like I've never seen them before. So I don't know if there's a little artist in here that's making these cards. Uh, um, what? And Jim says he's very thankful for his personal message. Thank you, Jim. So here it is. What about time? First off, it says, stand tall and strong. Today I choose to remain positive. I face all of my challenges with strength and courage. I will not be denied or turned away. I do not allow myself to be carried away by negative thoughts. Let me repeat that one. I do not allow myself to be carried away by negative thoughts. I stand tall and strong and live each moment in joy and peace, leaving my future in God's hands. I believe in life because life believes in me. So I'm going to show you the card. I think this woman has a clear connection with God, wouldn't you say? And she's standing tall and strong. But remember, she's representing me, you, Barbara and Chase and Jim and Cavell and Dorothy. All of us are being represented by her. It can be. I'm going to repeat it. Stand tall and strong. Today, I choose to remain positive. I face all of my challenges with strength and courage. I will not be denied or turned away. I do not allow myself to be carried away by negative thoughts. And I'm going to repeat it again because I think that's a lot of what happens. I will not be denied or turned away. I do not allow myself to be carried away by negative thoughts. You can choose, stand tall and strong and live each moment in joy and peace, leaving my future in God's hands. I believe in life because life believes in me. And I have one more thing to add. Standing tall and strong doesn't mean to be angry or boastful. It means to be in love. In love with all that's around you, in love with God, in love with all situations. You know, that's part of the school we're in. It's all purposeful. Everything that happens, us being here and all being together, there's a purpose. It's a purpose why we're here, because we're meant to. So, Dorothy says, a powerful, meaningful session, all of it, so much in such a short time. Yes, so much in a short time. Make your life so. Barbara, this last card pretty much sums up our whole session today. So appropriate. Thank you. So what does that say to all of us? The time is enough. We have completed whatever God wished us to do today. And we are now leaving, standing tall and strong in His love, giving Him that which He knows best to do is how to guide us, how to love us, how to be there every single moment for us. As we sit and do our due diligence, pray, write, let the negative thoughts go on their way. They can find a different home. Because if you keep them, they go out, put clothes on, and bring more back. And you don't need that. None of us need that. You're getting to the point you don't need to learn from that. But you need to remember God's there always. And all of His angels and all the masters, they're all surrounding you. So in that due diligence, you're not only going to learn it, but you're going to meet them, you're going to feel them, and you'll hear them. So I say. So, Cavell says, appreciate this message. I needed that today. Great reinforcement. Thank you so much. And Carol says, the card spoke so beautifully today. Thank you. Well, you're all very welcome. And today's Wednesday, so I will be back on Monday. And I want you all to have a great few days. Do some of your due diligence. Have something to bring back on Monday that you can say, this is what happened when I stood tall and strong. That would be great, because I know an opportunity will come. I have no doubt. I kind of know God that way. So, many blessings, more than you can even begin to count. And have a good couple days. God bless.